and no living this time.
With the dark. Yeah, just tell my fiance that who rings in the middle of recordings.
Mm.
Love you, babe.
Right.
Don't put that in the video, she'll kill me. So Sargeant's been good this year, hasn't he?
Oof. That's a tricky one to go with, really, isn't it? He's not been... He's done... Well, he's last. He's 21st. 21st in the standings.
Oh, yeah, got Beerman.
Yeah, Beerman's got more points than him, and he only raced once.
This is basically just a discussion of how Sargeant's done this season and whether, without putting it harshly, does he still deserve his seat? I know I'm not an F1 driver. I could never match up to his quality. Understand that completely.
No.
Before we get into this. But it is also a discussion that needs to happen.
It is, yeah. It's not good, is the best way of putting it. He's basically, by the looks of it, finished almost last in every single race or crashed out. When looking into it, his best race of the season was Saudi. He came 14th.
Saudi 14th.
Yeah, that's the best race of his season. Outside of that, he has literally been near enough last. He's had Bahrain, so I'll run through them. Bahrain 20th, Saudi Arabia 14th, Australia. Obviously, we had the issue where Albon took his car, so can't really have a go at him for that one. Japan, he was 17th out of I think it was about 17 drivers, actually, weirdly enough. Yeah, China 17th again out of 17 drivers. He retired in Miami because he crashed out. Yeah, 17th in Imola. Out of 18 drivers, Bottas was the only one that finished behind him there.
Get it sorted.
Then Monaco, he was 15th. Again, there was only one driver behind him on that one, and that was Zhou. Then we had Canada, where he retired. Obviously, he crashed out again. And then just this race, he finished 20th. A good distance behind everybody else. I don't understand how, or I get Williams might want to try and keep a bit of continuity and whatever in the team, but it's affecting their results. I mean, right now, yeah, they're not going to be dead last in the standings, but they're like second to last. Because Zhou and Bottas for Kick haven't scored any points at all this season.
No.
You know, Albon has scored 2. That puts them, second to last, so 9th in the Constructors.
Yeah.
It's worrying.
Look, I'm not going to say that Williams has been a car of the year. It hasn't.
No.
It's not a great car this season. But Albon has at least scored 2 points and is consistently trying to get into those points.
Yeah. Albon's best finish was 9th, and that was in Monaco.
Yeah.
But
he's at least up there. If something arises, like in Monaco, 4 people crashed out.
Yeah.
Bang. He's in the points.
Yeah.
He's there ready for it.
He is, yeah. And he got a good couple of points. It was well-earned couple of points. I think we actually praised him during that video as well.
Yeah.
But we're starting to get towards the halfway point in the season. And our thoughts were, is Sargeant ready to be sacked, basically? Are they going to get rid of him? My thinking is yes. There's been rumours, obviously, about who's going to replace him. The main big one right now is Kimi Antonelli. And there is thought, or at least there was a rumour a little while ago, I think it was reported by Motorsport.com on Twitter. I'm going to have to have a little look back through it. That basically Mercedes have kind of pushed Williams into giving Antonelli time in the car before this halfway point in the season to get him up to scratch, in a sense. And they've been testing with him as well, haven't they, Mercedes? They've been putting him in, was it last year's car, I want to say?
Yes.
Yeah. It's not looking good for Sargeant.
The one that even looks worse for him is that the FAA have just waived the 18 years of age to get into F1. It's now 17.
Yeah, it's at the FIA's discretion.
Yeah, it's at the FA's discretion. So, but the fact that they've now done that tells me Mercedes have probably pushed for it.
Yes, they would have pushed for it. However, what I would like to put out there is that this rule that they've now put back in a sense, was not fully down to Mercedes. It wasn't a case of Mercedes going, we want to get Kimi Antonelli into the car. He's going to be turning 18 soon. Actually, quite soon as well, I think. That's not down to them. This has been in the works for a little while now. Good year or so. If you don't believe me, go and look it up. But it's not down to Mercedes. Just they might have been given a nice little shove over the last few races or whatever. The last 3 or 4. But it's not entirely down to them.
What I would say is this now makes Sargeant's situation a lot worse. So Kimi Antonelli, for context, has not had a great season F2 so far.
Oh no.
I will not say he hasn't. But he's shown a lot of promise. And Mercedes are desperate to make him work, I think. Yeah. They want their own Max Verstappen.
Basically, yeah. And don't blame them. No. George is a good driver. I just don't see George being someone who will consistently, will battle for those top places over the years. I think he'll battle for the odd first here and there, but I don't think he's going to be winning a WDC anytime soon, if I'm being honest.
But it'll be his team from next year, so we'll see what happens. That's if Antonelli's in the car, because first of all, Sargeant needs to be out the Williams, I'd say.
Yeah.
Which, as horrible as it sounds, I think come the mid-season break, you'll see a driver swap. Yeah.
Yeah, and you called that. Right before the season even started, you called that.
Logan Sargeant is going to be sacked mid-season and replaced by Antonelli.
Yeah, you called that, and it was a predictions video, Wild F1 predictions. It was called. I'll put the link up on the top. But he did call it. I'll give you that.
Should have put a bet on that, because if that happens, I would have won a ton of money.
Yeah, who would have done? No one would have thought of it back then. Yeah.
No, I didn't hear a single person calling it, so I'm proud that it happened.
Yeah. It's not as much as it is now. Obviously, again, still got nothing against Sargeant. I just don't think that he's right.
No.
He's not. He's just not right for F1. I think he might be better away from it in a different motorsport. But
I was about to say the same thing. Yeah. I think you put him in IndyCar, you put him in endurance race and something, he'll absolutely smash it.
Yeah.
We've seen that with, example, Marcus Ericsson. He hasn't won IndyCar, don't know, he hasn't won a championship.
Yeah.
But he's a proven race winner and is always challenging for the title now. In F1, he would look to score a point.
Yeah.
The F1 drivers, no matter if they're in the worst car or the best car, are still great drivers.
Yeah, they're fantastic.
Just maybe this might be the wrong sport for them.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's going to be a case, but we're just going to have to wait and see, to be honest. And yeah, I think halfway season, I don't see them doing it right now because it's back-to-back races. Yeah, up until, Silverstone. And then there's a 2-week gap again. But
I don't think it'll be that. I think it'll be after. I think it'll be Belgium announced. So it wouldn't shock me if they announced it that weekend for them to then put him in the weekend after the summer break.
Yeah, it's coming. Yeah. And I think everybody knows it. Everyone in F1 knows it. It's just one of those. Yeah, it's going to happen. So just like Max winning in Austria, it's going to happen.
Hey, I wouldn't discount Lando for that. He thrives at Austria.
I mean, true, but it is also their track.
And Red Bull needs to fly away eventually.
Red Bull gives you wings.
Mm. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, obviously, let us know. Do you think that his time's up? I mean, if so, would you put Kimi Antonelli in that seat? He's obviously unproven in F1. I mean, technically, Behrman's got more experience than he has. And yeah, are
we being a little bit harsh? If we are, tell us by all means. I don't want to be harsh, so if we are, apologies, but it's just how it looks.
Yeah, I think given his track record, and not just this season. Look at last season as well. I think his track record speaks for itself.
Unfortunately, it does.
Yeah. Anyway, shall I leave it there? It's a nice little random video for us. Yeah.
I was going to do happy, but it's a sad one, so.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. There's the thumbnail. Right. Okay.
Thanks.
All right. Well, yeah. We'll see you shortly, and bye.
Rainbow.